Hi, it's DM. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Cutesy Shelf. Today I have a tutorial on how to create these round gift bags using the Gingerbread Girl die set from the ScrapDiva design store. And let me quickly show you what the die set looks like. So it looks like this, and it allows you to create this gingerbread girl face. So I'm going to be putting a link to the shop in the description box below in case you wanted to pick up this die for yourself. But today we're going to be making these gift bags, and these are quite simple to make. The circles measure 3 5/8 of an inch in diameter, just to let you know. So it's a really nice size, and you can put all kinds of goodies inside. And then it's got a width of 1 3/4 inches. But once you see how easy it is to make this, you can adjust the measurements. And then this is the back of the bag here. I just wanted to show you that I did turn this one into a shaker. And then let me show you the other one here. And then on the back of this one, I also turned this into a shaker. So this is going to be really fun. And if you wanted to stick around, we're going to start the tutorial. For the base of my bag, I use 110-pound cardstock because that's going to make the bag very sturdy, as well it's going to make it last longer. And the first thing that you're going to need to do is cut 4 circles that measure 3 5/8 of an inch. And I happen to have this die that has a diameter of 3 5/8 of an inch, so that's what I used. But you could basically use whatever works for you, and once you see how easy this tutorial is, you could always adjust the measurements to your circle size. And then if you wanted to add a decorative piece, you'd need to cut out 2 decorative pieces for your bag, one for the front and one for the back. And then for my bag, the bottom is flat. I made it flat so that it could stand on its own. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna be cutting off a piece of the circle. And to determine how much to cut off, what I did is, this would be my decorative layer. And then this is the gingerbread girl face. So I just put this on top like this, and then you just grab your ruler. And then this is how you determine how much you would cut off. So you just put one part of the ruler to one side here, and then I'm gonna be cutting off 1 3/4 of an inch. So see how I have it lined up here? And I did that because if I went 2 inches, it's gonna cut too close to the gingerbread girl face. So I decided to do 1 3/4 of an inch. So what you do is turn this over. Just gonna move these aside here. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my pencil and then line this up so that I get 1 3/4 of an inch, which looks like that. And then just draw a line across here. Okay, and then just cut that off. And then I'm gonna use this as a template to cut off the other circles as well. So you're gonna do that to all of your circles. And to save time, I did do this off camera so that I have my 6 pieces with the piece cut off at the bottom there. And then we're just gonna set this aside. Next, you'll need to cut a piece of paper that measures 8 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/4 inch. So I did that off camera. And so here's my piece, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it against my scoreboard here with the 8 3/4 inch side to the top there, and we're gonna make some score marks. So we're gonna score it 1/2 inch, 3 1/2 inches, 5 1/4 inch, as well as 8 1/4 inch. Okay, and then I'm just gonna flip this onto the 2 1/4 inch side, and we're gonna score at 1/4 inch, as well as 2 inches. Okay, and so your piece of paper should look like this. And next we're gonna be cutting off some of the bulk here. So I'm just gonna take my scissors, And we're gonna start by cutting off the corners. So just cut into the slit here. And instead of just cutting the corner off, I'm gonna be cutting the bulk off of this piece a bit. So I'm gonna go at an angle and cut it off like that. So you're gonna do that to the 4 corners. Cut this part at an angle and then this one like that. Okay, and then we're gonna cut into the slits here, right up to the score line. Okay, and then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some of the bulk off. So we're gonna cut these at an angle so that you get this V shape here. Okay, so it should look like that. And then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some V shapes onto these 4 flaps here. So it's gonna look like this. And then I wouldn't cut up too close to the score line. That way we won't get holes on the side of our bag. So you're just gonna go all along this flap here and do cut these little V shapes out. Okay, and so it's gonna start to look like this. And now I did this off camera just to save time, and it should look like this. I'll show you what it should look like. So your piece of paper should start looking like this. And then also if you had a box making die, for example, let me just quickly show you this one here. So this is a box making die from the Alina craft store. The KS craft store also has one. If you have this, you could have just used this, but I just wanted to show you how you would do it without that die. So this is what we have. And next what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some score tape onto this. I'm also gonna flip this around and put it on these flaps here on the ends. Okay, and then now all we're gonna do is we're just gonna grab our bone folder just to burnish the score tape in so that it gets a really nice stick. And then we're gonna fold and crease. So this is the side with the tape here. So we're just gonna flip it over and fold it like this. And then just take your bone folder to get a nice crease. And then we're gonna fold in these lines here in the center. And then we're gonna fold the ends in as well. And for the ends, I'm just gonna remove the tape here as well. Use my bone folder to get a nice crease and make sure it sticks. Okay, so it should look like this. And then next what you would do is just take your bone folder and we're just gonna curl the 2 ends a bit so that it's gonna reduce the creases in the paper. So just curl the ends. Okay, and it should look like this. And then next, I'm just gonna give you the measurement for the layering piece in case you wanted to layer this up. So let me get those measurements for you here. For the layering piece, you just need to cut a piece that measures 8 7/8 of an inch by 1 3/4 of an inch. So I did that off camera, and I'm gonna place my piece of paper with the 8 7/8 of an inch side to the top there, and we're gonna score this at 1/2 inch, as well as 3.5 inches. We're gonna flip this around and make the same score marks, 1/2 inch and 3.5 inches. Okay, and then I'm just gonna cut off the bulk on the ends here. So we're gonna cut at an angle so that it looks like this. And you do that to the four corners. Okay, so your piece of paper should look like this. And then now it's just a matter of folding and creasing all the lines. I'm also going to take my bone folder to crease. And then just take your bone folder and curl the ends to break up the fibers so that it's going to create less creases. Okay, and it should look like this. And then you would just glue this to your piece like this. Okay, and I'm gonna do that off camera here just to save time, and I'll be right back. So this is what it would look like with the layering piece on. And I did make the layering piece a little bit longer so that your paper wouldn't buckle when you layer it on. And then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the sides of the bag. So we're just gonna take our circles, and for my circles, I already layered the decorative piece onto the 110-pound cardstock paper. So I did that for both sides here. And so what you're gonna do is you're just gonna remove the score tape on one side first. And then just line this, take your circle and line this to the bottom here. And you're actually gonna do the same to the other side, just remove the backing on the score tape. And line up your circle. Okay, so it should look like that. And then now it's just a matter of adhering the sides of the bag here. So you're just gonna go all along the circle here and then press down on the flaps so that they stick to the circle. And you're gonna do that all the way. And then when you get to the top, I would just push it in a little bit more because this part tends to stick out a bit. So I'm just gonna push it in like this. And then you're gonna do that to the rest of the bag here. Push this piece in so it starts looking like this. And then complete the other side. Okay, and this is how our bag should start looking. And then once it looks good to you, what I do is I just take the bone folder and we're gonna push down on all the flaps here and get a good burnish so that they stick nicely to the inside here on both sides. Okay, and so it should look like this. And before we layer the inside, what we're gonna do is now would be the time to add handles to this bag. So what I did is I took a border die. Let me just grab it here. So I took this border die, well, it's a strap from this Concord and 9th, Concord and 9th handbag set that I have, and I'm just using these, but you could use whatever you have. You could use a border die, you could use ribbon, you could get really creative. And so basically what I did is I cut out those strips, 2 of them, and put them back to back for each side of the bag. So I have 2 straps here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna eyeball it to see, you know, where you should add the straps. And this is just a matter of preference. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add these straps first off camera here, and I'm just gonna glue them in, and I'll be right back. So this is how my bag is looking with the handles on. And now it's just a matter of layering the inside of the bag. So I'm just gonna take the circles that we cut out before. So this is one of them. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna cut a sliver off the edge of this circle. You don't have to do it to the bottom part. So what we're gonna do is just take your scissors and cut around so that this fits nicely into the bag. Okay, and then just take your liquid adhesive and add glue to the back of this. Okay, and then just take your bag. And then you just have to line up the bottom, and that's it. And then just make sure you get a good stick. Okay, and it should look like that. And you would do the same to the other side. Cut a sliver on the circle and put the other side on. So I'm just going to do that off camera here. So once you have the inside circles layered on, the base of your bag is pretty much finished, and now it's just a matter of decorating it with the gingerbread girl face. You could also add some charms to the handles on your bag. And so that does conclude the tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Thank you so much for trying this out. Bye!